After all, what's the point of power if you don't use it? Quote, Surge, Maystorm versus Sword in a static skirmish. Lightning collides as Maystorm and Surge finally confront each other. But when Surge is left weak and drained of her power, Maystorm has even more questions. Maystorm must investigate the mysterious cult Surge is part of and its relationship to the mutants of the Ultimate Universe. Ultimate X-Men Volume 2, Issue 9. A diabolical genius known as the Maker used time travel to create his ideal Earth by systematically preventing anyone from ever becoming a superhero, except for those on his secret Maker's Council, whom he stationed to rule over different regions of the world. Overseeing the eastern territory of Hainon Kuni, Land of the Sun, is Sunfire, and his right-hand Viper. Unrest in Hai no Kuni has exploded ever since images of a human body in a suitcase went viral on social media. The body bore an unusual mark that connected it to the cult of superpower mutants called Children of the Atom, led by the zealous Mai Esther, who secretly works for Viper. Hot on the cult's trail is a group of high schoolers: Hisako Ichike, Armor, Mei Igarashi, Maystorm, and Nico Monroe. Hisako got her own troubles with social media after images of her mutant abilities went viral. Never mind the cult member Shinobi Kageyami, Shadow King, who has been stalking her. Pictures of the dead body in the suitcase are going viral, sparking widespread disgust among the people of the Land of the Sun. The images reveal an X mark on the body, a symbol many individuals within the cult bear. To the general public, this X mark has become synonymous with the cult, amplifying their fear and mistrust. The news reports say, breaking, more revelations about the alleged cult known as the Children of the Atom. Members reportedly do not consider themselves human, but identify as mutants. Some are rumored to possess incredible powers and should be treated as extremely dangerous. If you suspect anyone of being affiliated with the Children of the Atom, please inform authorities immediately. Public perception paints the cult members as strange, terrifying, and inhuman, escalating tension between the mutants and the outside world. Surge is feeling the effect of the growing hatred toward the Children of the Atom. Meanwhile, May watches the events unfold on the news, saying he's making it sound like every mutant is part of the cult, like monsters. May's grandmother gently reassures her, saying, "We love you and you're welcome here as long as you want, but you should think about going home. Your mom and dad are probably worried about you." May, however, remembers the events of X-Men Volume 2, Issue 3, where a month ago, after moving into the neighborhood, May came across a frightened cat that had run away from her neighbor's house. Approached by its owner hiding behind the door, she returned the mascot only to have the cat suddenly become aggressive and scratch her arm. Later that night, May was awakened by the sound of her parents arguing downstairs and joined them to try to stop it, only to have her father hit her after making a negative comment about him. As she screamed, May's mutant abilities would manifest for the first time in a powerful storm, and her hair and eyes would also turn white. Her father would order her to leave, not wanting punks in his house. Returning to the present, May says to her grandmother, "I doubt they even notice I'm gone, Granny. They don't care about me." At Irodori High School, May, Nico, Hisako can't believe what they saw on TV this morning. Ever since the news about the Children of the Atom broke, they haven't seen Natsu or Mori, and they're starting to worry. Hisako says if Natsu is gone, it's no surprise Mori is too. I don't think I've ever seen them apart. Nico adds, "I don't know how involved they are with the Children of the Atom, but it seems likely that whatever trouble there is, they're caught up in." May asks, "Does anyone know where they live?" Nico, "Maybe we can go see them." Nico Monroe replies, "I'm afraid I don't know. I never thought to ask." Meanwhile, some mean girls at high school are setting up the Bunkai Sai Festival. May thinks it's lame, feeling overwhelmed with her own problems, but Hisako says, "I thought you'd be into the festival." Bunkai is a cultural festival that generally takes place in September or October, though some schools hold it in November. Students set up booths throughout the school, such as shops, cafes, restaurants, photo booths, and more, as well as stage performances and exhibitions of student art and photography. This event helps students learn cooperation and creativity by having to work together to come up with their own plans and themes. Just then, one of the mean girls takes her juice and deliberately squirts it all over Hisako. May says, "What's your problem?" The big mean girl smirks and replies, Oh dear, I assumed her mighty powers would protect her. That's what you all are, right? Mutant freaks. As May steps forward to protect Hisako, she says, you want to start something? The mean girl fires back. You muties think you're too good to help decorate for Bunkasai, or maybe your weird cult won't let you. Nika retorts, we don't have anything to do with the children of the atom. The mean girl sneers, sure you don't, and I know why. You don't sell photos of yourself at Bunkasai. After all, we heard all about you. You're famous. Talking about Hisako Ichike and her armor powers. May looks at the others and says, aren't you guys gonna say something? Hisako glares and says, call us freaks. Talk about stupid cults. I'll show you. Hisako, without using her powers, storms over to the Bunkasai pictures and festival items, knocking them to the ground in a fit of frustration. May watches in disbelief, thinking Hisako has really snapped this time. The mean girls are furious, shouting in protest as they see their hard work destroyed. Hisako, undeterred, tears down the pictures and breaks several decorations. The principal intervenes, saying, I know you've been under a lot of stress due to recent events, Hisako, but that's no excuse for acting out like this. As a result, Hisako is ordered to write a formal apology to the class. The three friends blow off some steam, laughing about the situation. As usual, May takes the lead in comforting the group. Next time, we'll take them on together, she says confidently. Hisako smiles, forming a stronger bond with May. Thanks, May, she replies, but her expression turns serious. I'm worried, though. Sometimes I feel like I might lose control. I could hurt someone for real. Come on, you never do that. May reassures her. You're a hero. May then shifts the topic, saying, oh yeah, you know that stalker Kageyami, the Shadow King? He's been awfully quiet lately. I bet after you went ballistic on him, he's too scared to show his face. Unbeknownst to them, Kageyami has been kept sedated in the Children of the Atom's laboratory for a long time. However, at this very moment, he wakens up and stands, his eyes glinting with malice. Maestro is leaving a message for Viper, frustrated that she's not answering her phone. Who sent these packages, he mutters. I don't know what's going on, but it isn't good. The whole social media situation is spiraling out of control. It's only a matter of time until the real media shows up. These masks better just be some stupid prank. At least the police are in our pocket if there's any real trouble. Damn it, Viper, pick up the phone. Meanwhile, at the Children of the Atom branch church, a group of kids gather, their voices filled with curiosity and uncertainty. One asks, has Maestro revealed the next path? How shall we prepare for when the time comes? One of the co-leaders steps forward, speaking in a calm, assuring tone. Now, fellow children, it shall be known soon. Another kid, more impassioned, stands up and declares, what if this is a test from the Maestro? A way for us to get closer to God, to become true Homo Superior. Kageyami rises from his bed and hears a haunting voice emanating. It is a mutant called Akihiro, who is restrained nearby. Akihiro keeps repeating, did I save them? Did I save them? Did I save them? His voice is strained and tubes extend grotesquely from his mouth. Turning his attention to Kageyami, Akihiro speaks. You're Kageyami, right? I hear you're something special, the chosen one of the Children of the Atom. Kageyami, unmoved, stares back at him. I'm a hero. Akihari continues, his voice trembling. The first Homo Superior. I've given my blood, my power, my everything to the Children of Atom. The church says we have to manifest our powers to control them. They tell us we are the enlightenment, closer to God. We succeeded, right? His hand trembles as he displays the symbol of the Children of the Atom etched onto his body. Akihiro's voice grows desperate. I'm close to God, so why do I feel this way? He suddenly shouts, answer me, chosen one. I have nothing more to give. Where is my divinity? When will I be free? You can do it. You're the chosen one. Free me. Kill me, please. Kageyama guards him coldly and replies, you actually believe the world is coming to an end. You're a fool. Summary of Akihiro for Ultimate X-Men. Akihiro claimed to be the first mutant. Little else is known about him, but he would become involved with the Children of the Atom, a religious institution that also functioned as a cult and conducted experiments on young mutants at behest of the Harada Yashida Alliance, the government of Hai no Kunin. He was crucified and his blood was utilized by the Children of Atom in their experiments to awake dormant X genes in true mutants and create artificial ones. Due to his mutant ability to possess a healing factor, he was able to survive despite his conditions. In August, Akihiro's blood was transferred to Shinobi Kageyami, who had sustained a mental injury as a result of the excessive use of his mutant abilities. Children of the Atom. In November, Akihiro was placed in a hospital bed next to to Kageyami, who had recently recovered. Akihiro introduced himself and asked pledgingly to be released from his restraints by death. Parallels to Wolverine Earth 1610. Whether or not Akihiro has any connections to the North American Union's Weapon X is currently unknown. Akihiro's story mirrors Wolverine's Weapon X origin in Earth 1610, dubbed Mutant Zero. Wolverine was the first recorded mutant whose genes was exploited to create the mutant race. Both characters endure torture, experimentation, and exploitation by powerful organizations attempting to harass their ability. We return to May, who still feels something for at least her mom as she looks at her old house. What her grandma had told her affected her deeply, even about her mom who had wronged her by choosing the abusive and cheating father. May saw her mother while grabbing the milk, but when her mom looked up, thinking she saw May, she was no longer there. The mother questions, "Did you come by today? At least say hello." May, waiting on a street corner, wonders why her mother wasn't even worried about her. As she sees her dad walking down the street, she questions, "What's he doing out this late? Where's he going? And what the hell?" As she sees her dad with a young girl. This young girl is Surge. May comes running after the two of them as Surge's head is resting on her dad's shoulder. They are both shocked to see May, and she asks, "Dad, what are you doing?" Surge says, "Busted." The dad responds, "What are you doing out this late? Your grandma gave you a curfew. I see you disrespect her as well." May is fuming and mad. May's dad pushes the blame onto May, but he is the only one clearly doing something inappropriate with such a young girl. Surge says, "Is he your daddy? He's nothing to me. Just some scumbag." In Ultimate X-Men Volume 2, Issue 5, Surge had met with an older man and spent some time with him until he noticed a scar on her thigh and tried to touch it, prompting her to electrocute him and steal the money he had on him. It is not clearly known what she does with these older men, but the last one tried to touch her inappropriately in a hotel room, and she electrocuted him and took his money. Would she have done the same to May's dad? May goes running after her dad and says, "Hey, you're not getting off that easy." Surge grabs her and gives her a shock. Surge says, "You just cost me a night's work. You at least owe me some fun, don't you think?" May, confused, asks, "How do you know my name?" Surge replies, "I know so much more than your name. Why don't you show me that wind power of yours? It was so beautiful." May, still questioning, says, "Is that why you targeted my dad to get to me?" Surge responds, "Oh, that was just a coincidence. Fathers are the easiest mark. I just hang out with them and they shell out cash. Or maybe it was fate. Maybe we could team up and make some money. You know how it works. Just talk and maybe go out for some food. It's not like you're sleeping with them. After all, what's the point of power if you don't use it?" It becomes clearer that Surge baits older men into thinking they can get closer only to knock them out with a shock and take their money. She talks to them, but it's all part of her plan. Enjo Kosai is a Japanese practice similar to a sugar dating, often undertaken by high school students. Some students engage in more physical side of the practice, while others are strictly against it. As May's storm powers crackle, Surge uses her electricity. May has figured out that Surge is also a mutant and asks to be called Surge. Surge is Noriko Ashida, whose artificial mutation allows her to generate and control electricity. Her energy output is powerful enough to incapacitate adult men, and she has demonstrated control over her abilities, allowing her to easily subdue others and feed off external electricity. May, like her idol, Wind Rider, has the power of weather manipulation. She can create and manipulate storms, including wind manipulation, electricity generation, and rain control. As Surge and Maystorm crackle with their powers, Surge takes a swing and May sees the number 121. May questions, "Is that the children of the atom?" Surge replies, "Those lunatics think they're going to save the world. Who cares? The world can go to hell. But they know what they're doing. They jab and poke people until they got the formula right. That's me. I use them for what I wanted, to become special. Isn't that what all parents want for their kids? To be special." This story becomes clear as May says, "You mean you're experimenting on them? They made you. It's what those dead bodies were for?" Surge replies, "Who cares about the failures?" May responds, "How can you say that? Do you really think you're any better?" Surge answers, "I'm here, and that makes me the winner." May retorts, "People died to give you those powers. You should use them to help, not prey on people's fathers." Surge, shouting in frustration, says, "You're serious? You're going to lecture me? You don't know anything about me." As electricity crackles around her, Surge's rings begin to break off due to an overload. These rings are worn on her fingers to prevent her electricity generation from overloading. These are analogs to power gauntlets used by her Earth 616 counterpart. Surge screams out in pain as she experiences an electrical overload, but Maystorm, wanting to be the hero, says, "I hope this works," as she tries to stop the electrical overload affecting Surge. Maystorm has the ability of electricity generation. She can generate electrical energy from her body directly through her hands to stop the overload. May electrocutes Surge, dropping her to the floor. Maystorm had trouble controlling her powers as Surge revealed in pain. Maystorm says, "Hey, you're okay. I think I overdid it. I can't control my powers. I'll call an ambulance." Surge responds, "No, call my mom. If they know, they'll come after me too." Meaning if the children of Adam know what kind of power she has, they will come after her as well. As Surge grips her phone in pain, surges of electricity come out of her. Next, Ultimate X-Men Volume 2, Issue 10.